Meats that are not butchered animals, but instead engineered, are called clean meat. That's the name. To make chicken, what they might do is they pluck out a feather from a really great chicken, and they take those cells and they grow them. Or with beef, same idea. Paul Shapiro just released a new book called Clean Meat about this radically new process that could revolutionize the meat-loving world out there. I asked him about genetic modification, the cost, safety, and when does it go on sale?
Clean meat is not an alternative to meat. It is real meat simply grown from animal cells rather than animal slaughter. So imagine taking a tiny little sesame seed-sized biopsy from an animal, and in that tiny little biopsy there are millions of cells whose sole job in life is to become muscle. We can now take those cells and put them in a cultivator so they think they're still in the animal's body, and they will grow into meat in the exact same way they do inside the animal's body. And the big benefits of this are that it takes far fewer resources, it's far better for the planet, far safer for us, and of course it's better for the animals too.
That's amazing. And tastes good.
I've eaten it many times now, and it does taste good. Not surprisingly, because it is meat, it tastes like meat. There's no genetic modification that is being used to produce clean meat. The companies could do it, but they're not doing that right now. They're using traditional tissue engineering techniques that have been used for many, many years in the medical space, and now just applying that to the food space. Clean meat is not only cleaner for the planet, it is also cleaner for us, because conventional meat we're born to treat really like toxic waste in our kitchens. I mean, think about it. Salmonella, E. coli, Campylobacter, these are intestinal pathogens that can sicken us if we don't cook the crap out of our meat, literally. With clean meat, though, you don't have to worry about intestinal pathogens like E. coli because you're not growing intestines, you're just growing the meat.
Yeah. What do you think is being missed right now by the average consumer or eater in the U.S. when it comes to meat?
The meat industry is a leading cause of air, water, and soil pollution, of climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. We cannot continue to sustain our population on the level of meat consumption that we are without having something change. So the first clean hamburger that was ever debuted and eaten was in 2013, price tag of about $330,000. So not exactly on the bargain menu. However, that price has now come down by more than 80%, and in fact, Memphis Meats, which is one of the leading clean meat purveyors, is now producing meatballs for around $1,000 a pop. So that's a big, big reduction in cost. Still, hardly a bargain basement price, but things are moving in the right direction. And you can see how, just in the same way, for example, that an iPhone a decade ago, the first iPhone cost more than $1 billion to make, and now a lot of us are walking around with them in our pockets.
I wonder if you think that the market's going to be with millennials, younger generations. Do you think it's going to actually catch on, or is this going to be like a clear Pepsi deal?
Most chickens who we raise for meat are genetically selected to grow so big, so fast, that they have a hard time even walking before collapsing underneath their own bulk. They're kept indoors in their own feces, crowded by the tens of thousands, pumped full of antibiotics. The first time they see sunlight is on the way to their slaughter plant, and we don't really want to hear what happens after that. So when we think about how unnatural, how inhumane, and how unsustainable our current methods of meat production are, I think clean meat starts seeming like a preferable option.
Again, his book is called Clean Meat. Good read.